Morning, everybody. Marcus Conti reporting live show. How are you, man? We're having a little bit of a glitch right now. If you see what's happening. You're seeing it live. YouTube, trying to go live on YouTube, and it looks like we are live, but it looks like it's all jammed up right now. And I don't know. Well, I guess I'm just gonna record the show, and hopefully the live will kick in. As you can see, there it is, spinning, 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 and hopefully it'll continue. So anyway, Marcus Conti reporting. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue. Is what I'm saying. Today, fascinating subject. Fascinating. You won't believe it. I didn't believe it when I was reading it. I kind of trying to get my arm around this concept of embryo baby. Sounds like a song, like an embryo baby, right? Where, here's my thumbnail for today, right? You see it. Right? These children right here, right? These two adorable human beings were created from a frozen embryo, right? 30 years ago. So think about it for a second. It's pretty heavy, right? Are these children not 30 years old? When does birth begin? When the fetus starts growing? When there is conception? Right? Conception occurred in 1992 for these two human beings. But I guess one of the parents died, the other fucking died, whatever. They're not around anymore. And 30 years later, someone walks into a frozen embryo office and orders themselves up some embryos. And puts those embryos inside of their womb and fosters two beautiful children from a bygone era. Now, if that isn't fascinating stuff, I don't know what is. It also raises the ramifications, and there are many around this, ramifications such as selective birth. Meaning that we could, honey, we're so rich and famous and popular. In 100 years, everybody will want to buy and or harbor one of our embryos, right? And you'll have the Barack Obama and Michelle Obama embryo collection, or the Bill Gates embryo collection, or Elon Musk, the tribe of. Become part of the tribe. I know if it's stuck there, sticky. I can't just bother with this. I know there's something glitchy today. So I'm just communicating to YouTube. This is all we got today. This is I don't know why it's doing that. It's nothing I did or nothing. I don't know. It just is what it is. So it's going to be a quick show, and I'm recording. So again, beautiful children conceived in a bygone era, a time where things were different. Right? Everything was different in 1992. Right? Well, we'll talk about it more. My name is Marcus Conti. I got a website, and here it is, marcusconti.com. Every morning at 9 a.m. we're somewhere live. And if we're not live on YouTube, it seems like YouTube is like the dying battery or something. I don't know what it is, but it's going down. And but right now we're live on YouTube, and if that continues, then if it doesn't continue, we shoot over to D Live. Look, every morning at 9 a.m., I'm a guy who makes videos. That's what I do. Every morning I wake up and I make a video. If you like this content, and you like this mental dialogue that we get into, or at least I get into, then join us every morning at 9 a.m. I hear you guys in the chat. If you see the live chat, people are saying bad Buffy. Yeah, the stream is sticky. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what it is, but there it is. Right there it is. It's going round and round and round and. So anyway, and Artemis made its moon pass. These are all the videos. Catch up if you need to, and join us every morning at 9 a.m. So right now, Ivanka Ivanka Trump, right? The child of Donald J. Trump, former president of the United States, who's often thought of as a misfit, as a someone who is unable to conform or be part of normal people. She's not normal. A lot of people say that about Trump's kids. They look and say they're like freaks. It's like I don't see it. I see them only only I see them as they're very acclimated to society. But anyway, regardless of that, Ivanka Trump, I just want to show you how these people live. A lot of people are not aware of just how the wealthy and the rich live. Now, Ivanka Trump, if you recall a few days ago, she was down there in Florida taking a wakeboard lesson. Right? She was on the beach with a team of teachers in a bikini and a wakeboard and a jet ski to pull her around and trainers to make sure she doesn't fall on her face. Right? They're living large, right? And there's Jared Kushner, her darling husband, who is, I don't know, off in politics somewhere doing something. But a week later, look at them. They're in Egypt right now. Look at this. They're off in Egypt. Now, when you want to be in Egypt, look at this. When you got money, you get on a plane and you go. Look at this. You got the Sphinx in the background. Fascinating, amazing, breathtaking, incredible, right? There's Ivanka on the pyramids that we still don't know how the fuck they built them. And inside is a dead guy, a mummy. Look at this. They're on camels. They're on a camel. They're riding camels through the Cairo, where the pyramids are, right? Beautiful. We're freezing our asses off right now, worried about not being able to turn up the heat enough because it's too expensive. And Ivanka and her darling children, and I'm not jealous. I'm not envious at all. I'm just merely pointing out the material difference between us and them. Right? So if you are them, I know, again, I'm reading the chat. I understand. I understand the blippy thing. I don't know what it is. It sounds like an attack of some sort. It's nothing on my end. Everything is running smooth. All it is when you're in YouTube, it blips and blops and cuts out, and I don't fucking know, man. But anyway, yeah. So where the hell am I? Oh yeah. So this is the rich and famous, and this is how they're doing it, man. This is how they are doing it. Darling children, very, very, very acclimated. Look, they're poolside. They're at the fancy hotel. What's he drinking? He's drinking beautiful sparkling water with his linen and whatever they're eating over there, right? Beautiful. He can jump in the pool. He can look out at the pyramids, right? Amazing, right? Amazing, right? Are you envious? Does it make you envious? Does it make you want to be one of them? Right? I guess for a moment it does, right? It makes you want to be. So moving right along, this is an interesting story. Now, we always thought that New World Order, right? You've heard of it. Well, we're going to be a one world order. The New World Order. You hear the extreme left talk about this all the time. That we want one order. We don't like this individualism shit. Right? We want everybody to get behind one authority and keep it going that way because we're stronger together, is the theory. Now, some will default to say, well, that's socialism. That's the idea behind it. But on a global scale, we have competing powers. Russia, China, United States, North Korea, maybe. You know, whoever's got the bomb, whoever could throw a bomb at somebody else has got a controlling interest at the table. But very revealing over there at Apex Summit in Bangkok. What's his fucking name? Macron, right? Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, comes clean. He comes clean on, because it used to be a conspiracy theory. Oh, there's a cabal and the New World Order. They're trying to get everybody to conform to one way. That's conspiracy theory, motherfucker. Well, it turns out it's not conspiracy theory at all. It's actually what they believe, right? And here's not my words, right? So somebody writes, somebody that put the post up writes, in case you still think it's a conspiracy theory that our elites want a world order, here's French President Emmanuel Macron yesterday at APEC spelling it out. Watch.
Are you on the US or the Chinese side? Because now, progressively, a lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake, even for both the US and China. We need a single global order.
A single global order. We need a single global order, says the guys who say we're not about a new world order. That's conspiracy theory. There is no cabal. There is no ruling class. Right? So that kind of here's more of his rationale for saying it. We are in a jungle, and we have two big elephants trying to become more and more nervous. He doesn't even he doesn't know he's not versed in English. We are in a jungle, and we have two big elephants trying to become more nervous. Nobody tries to become more nervous. That's poor English. If they become very nervous and start a war, it will be a big problem for the rest of the jungle. You need the cooperation of a lot of other animals, tigers, monkeys, and so on, added Macron. Now, there's some sensibility to what he's saying, but what it does for all of these humans out here in the world, it's saying you no longer have your desire to be free and speak your mind and make your own is hurting the world. You're hurting the world with your individualism. I think that's how I'm understanding it. I had a discussion with a young man the other day. We were talking, and I said, why don't you come on my show and report something? And he said, well, what do you want me to talk about? I said, I don't know. What do you like? That's what you report on. That's all I do. I don't fucking, take orders. And he said something about the individualism of the 1920s. And I said, what do you mean individualism? What does that mean? Well, he was trying to tell me his view of this right here, this kind of world order. And it really didn't make sense. I was like, what? Huh? For a minute. Without trying to become, argumentative, but it seems like an ingrained idea to drop your individualism, if that's even possible, and become part of the greater whole, right? And at a political level, you're talking about a world order, a single world order, where everybody falls in line under the top of the pyramid. Now, who is that top? Who's at the top of the pyramid? It ain't Ivanka. I don't know, darling kids. But who is at the top of the pyramid? Someone will be at the top of the pyramid. And that will always be a battleground. That's the human nature. You think you're going to create a new world order and no one is going to challenge it from outside or from inside? This is controlism. Right? It's not trying to eliminate something bad. It's creating something worse. Rather than just let shit be. You follow what I'm saying? So, but there it is again, man. If you didn't believe that there was an effort for a global order, well, now you have your evidence. Look at this jerk off in London, right? Mayor of London calls for, quote, new regulations of online speech after Trump Twitter reinstatement. This guy, the English the British, the fucking mayor of London. I think him. I can't recall, but I kind of recall him and Trump going at it. Trump fucking put him down or something. But anyway, he's now saying that regulations of online speech should be in place. Now, do you think that government wants to censor you? Is that a conspiracy theory? They are actively trying to quiet us down so they can usher in a new world order. Is that a conspiracy theory? Now, they being government and whoever sponsors government, corporations that give guys like the mayor of London a lot of money to be in office, guys that pay off, Chuck Schumer and now McCarthy, the head of the Speaker of the House, Republicans to get their laws passed. That's who they are. That's who they are. So again, is this a conspiracy theory that government wants to regulate your speech? No, it's not. It is happening. It is being declared. Right? This guy is terrified of fucking. He's terrified of Trump. So Khan, his name is, who seems to spend more time worrying about American politics than the safety of people living in London, issued a diatribe reacting to Musk turning Trump's Twitter account back on. So Elon Musk turned Trump's account back on. I went to Twitter. I haven't seen anything by Trump yet. I'm sure he's working on it. And, and that's a good thing. Why is that a bad thing? So this is why he thinks it's a bad thing. He labeled Trump, quote, a dangerous, far-right politician who has a history of inciting violence, and proclaimed that, quote, he must be allowed to use social media. He says he must not be allowed to use social media, before calling for more general regulations of online speech. Right? It's really ridiculous. Right? These guys are fucking crazy. And to what's this? There's more. There's more. Wait, there's more. I saw something else too that was interesting on this. Right. Oh, there you go. Stone Cold Loser, right? So, Trump is not back. I haven't seen Trump back, but it does show you the, the ramifications. Here he says this. In the same sentence, Khan declared that, quote, freedom of speech is vital, but it must be balanced. What? Freedom of speech is vital, but it must be balanced out with unfree speech. Because what balances free speech? There is no balance. Free speech balances on its own or goes away. It's something that evolves, free speech. I'm speaking freely, right? And that's my free speech. What does it have to be balanced with? YouTube trying to stop it from being heard because it's truthful and it's insightful or something? Right? There is no balance. There's no balance at all. Trump is a dangerous far-right politician. No, he's not. He speaks for many, 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 many people. So moving right along. So let's talk about this story. Fascinating. And my apologies in the chat. Apologize. I apologize. You could watch the rerun. That's the best I could say in the chat right now. But here we go. So twin babies were already 30. Hold on a second. Is this thing going? I guess it is. I don't know. So this is a fascinating story, right? So see these two kids right here? They are frozen. They are the product of frozen embryo. And these two lovely people decided to harvest that embryo right? And she became the carrier of those embryos. Now, they already have 4 kids. Let's just read a minute. Twin babies were already 30 years old at birth. Now, that's correct. When is their birthday? From the time they pop out the vagina or from the moment of conception? It raises that point, right? It raises a lot of other points, but let's continue. Lydia and Timothy Ridgway were born just a few weeks ago, but they could have grown up signing into AOL, loving Barney the dinosaur, and renting videos from Blockbuster, like many of us did in the 90s, right? Right. The Oregon twins, who arrived October 31st, Halloween, have set a new world record for babies born from the oldest embryos, 29 years and 10 months. New parents who already have 4 kids told the Post they felt called to have more children, and they especially wanted to help what they call, quote, children in need, but they weren't expecting to set a record. So they see the embryo, these fine people right here, as a trapped child. The child has already been conceived, but there's no womb for them to grow. There's no mud. There's no dirt. Causes and conditions for them to become human and walk the planet and live and die has been paused by humans. We did that. We said, okay, sperm, egg, put it together, you get a embryo somehow, right? You get a something, a zygote, and then an embryo, and then a human, a fetus. In this case, they got 2. It was a twofer, right? And right. So when does conception start? That already happened. So the next step is for the zygote, whatever, embryo, to become a human in someone's womb. Now, we haven't figured that part out of it yet. Can man raise an embryo outside of the human mother? Well, that's a fucking kicker right there, right? Because then we don't even need women anymore. We could just have certain people who can reproduce. You follow what I'm saying? Could become a fundamental flaw in humanity if we continue on this trajectory of freezing embryos from a time gone by and then bringing those embryos to life in the modern age. What about a king from, let's say the royal family in Britain, for example, would like to reserve the kingship and the queenship for future generations. Right? They don't want the then king or prince to impregnate some woman that they don't even know anything about. They want to impregnate the woman with the queen from 300 years ago. Right? You're giving, it's not rebirth, you're giving birth to the queen's child. Could you imagine, do you realize the ramification of this where you could elect to have your own child, or you could elect to have your great-great-great-great-grandparents' child because it's frozen somewhere, because that's what they did. Right? It's pretty fucking wild, man. You know, it really is a wild concept. And what else? So and it's not new. Yeah. New parents. They wanted to help what they called a child in need. Quote, "We liked the idea. We are saving lives that are trapped." Ugh. Philip, 35, a software developer, told the Post. Wow. So they're trapped, right? Trapped. Right? That's where they are, right? In this little embryo, in this little cell function, right? you've got bodies, right? You've got people, right? They're not just embryos, they're people, right? Trapped, waiting to get out. That's what we create, right? We created this. This is my tobacco. Natural tobacco. Now, I don't know what I walk by sometimes and I see people smoking cigarettes, and I say to myself, I don't know what you're smoking, but that's not tobacco, right? And then I show them what I have, right, which is tobacco grown in my yard. It tastes different, it smells different. It doesn't have any corrosiveness to it at all. It's just very mild. It's very aromatic, right? Now I might be coughing my lungs out in a month if I keep smoking every day, but anyway, it makes you it raises the question of what the fuck are people smoking, in Marlboro and all that shit, right? Oh, you're not allowed to speak. And we're not allowed to speak anymore. That's really crazy, right? This new world order. We've already heard every opinion, and now shut the fuck up and listen to our opinion, because that's the new world order, says Emmanuel Macron and others. Right? That's the kind of world we live in. But we also live in a world where people believe that and they're probably right, that the embryo is a trapped human being calling out. We created it, a cocoon for the trapped human being, and it desperately needs a womb to become. It's like seeds. You could say it's like seeds. They are seeds. Are seeds trapped plants that need to be freed? Yeah, I guess. The mother made the seed. Right? Mother makes the seed, and the seed with the intention that the seed will get in the ground and grow. Same principle with humans. Right? What else can we learn about this? We knew basic information such as height and weight, but we weren't using that. How we were going to choose, said Rachel. She's 34 years old. Right? Now, here's the other part of it. Right? What does the 30-year-old embryo know that we don't? Remember, they were conceived at a different time, a different place, a whole different set of conditions, causes and conditions that made that happen. Right? Remember, humans haven't evolved that much in 30 years, but maybe in 300 years, that embryo won't be able to become fertile in this human that isn't like the human that conceived us. You follow the thinking there? So the babies are, in this case, 30 years old, conceived 30 years ago. But what happens 100 years? Now, look historically at charts and graphs of the height of people, the intelligence level of people, or lack thereof, the proneness to certain diseases, right? Remember, these kids stopped in time and were able to fend off whatever it was at that time that they needed to fend off, like disease. But now they're coming into a new world where disease hasn't been frozen and has evolved. So the children themselves become very vulnerable to, I guess, historical karma, like the karma of their parents, the causes and conditions at the time of conception. Right? Isn't it fascinating that you talk about test tube baby, right? That's what we used to call this, right? A test tube baby. The baby was conceived in a test tube. They mixed it together, and it became a zygote and a embryo, right? Live embryo, right? So again, two ramifications going on. The people themselves are are giving birth to elderly statesmen, people from a different era, conceived at a different time in our history. This is not 2 weeks ago. This is 30 years ago. Remember where you were 30 years ago. It was a different time and a different place. And it goes faster and faster and faster. If we were having this discussion right now, and these two kids were products of maybe the 19th century, like the late 1800s, maybe it was Lincoln's kid. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln. You are Abraham Lincoln. You are his direct fucking product, you know? I could definitely see rich people jumping on this. I could see, royalty and such wanting to, do something like this. But there they are, beautiful children, and you got to watch it. I mean, you got to be curious about all this. Again, apologize for the chat. I don't know what's happening today. It's just a fucked up day, and it turns out I won't be here tomorrow. I gotta go somewhere, so I'll be off tomorrow. If you're watching, anyway, which is Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. And here, it's not the first time. Baby born from 27-year-old embryo. Here's another child born from 27-year-old embryo. Right? So I find it, absolutely fascinating. I'll leave the subject there for you to decide. And take a quick look at the market. I'm going to kill the stream here because we lost our in crowd. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe it won't. But so what do we got? Dow Jones Industrial Average up 202 points. NASDAQ down 8. NASDAQ is down 8. And the S&P 500 is hovering a little above right now. And the big board, Apple down 42 cents. It looks like technology dragging a little bit. Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Meta, Microsoft, Rivian, all down at the moment. Tesla up a little bit, but again, we're only 9 minutes into the session. We'll see how the bounce occurs, and that's really all I wanted to talk about today on the market. Stocks rise ahead of Fed speak. It looks like the Fed is going to speak again on the interest rate hikes, inflation, and such, and we'll let them figure it out. So here we go, man. I don't know. I think I lost the crowd. There's only one watching. So thank you, YouTube, for your fine work, your fine service. I'm going to end the stream right here. And goodbye. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye. We tried. We definitely tried. We always try, right? We're always gonna try. We're always gonna try, baby. We're gonna try, baby. I think it's a song, Embryo Baby. Embryo Baby. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Marcus Conti, and I'm still here. Are you here? Like I said earlier, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday.